Oh. Gosh. That is scary. I'm sorry.
That was exciting.
Oh my goodness. I did that on purpose to just wake you guys all up. I'm just getting used to all this audio things. Whew. Oh, good, good. How's everyone doing?
Great.
Good, very good. How's everyone's week been?
Awesome.
Semi was last night? Well, I'm glad you made it here this morning. That's good. Has everyone else had a super busy last week like I had?
Yes.
Super busy. Mitch just came home from college. Just welcome back. Oh, boys are back. Mitch and Levi back in town. I'm so happy. But this has been a super busy week for me, and actually the past few weeks have been really busy. I feel like I've just gone from like one event to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. Does anyone else ever feel like that? Does anyone feel like that like right now?
Yeah.
I feel like that's been my life for like the past, I don't know, months. But this week has been really good. If anyone follows me on Instagram or Facebook, you've seen I've been eating whatever I want.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've uploaded pictures of like donuts and sugary drinks because I'm just so excited. Because I just ran this 50-mile race, and as my reward, I figure I'm eating whatever I want. I figure I earned it. I'm doing whatever I want this week, and it's been wonderful. So many donuts, the chocolate frosting with the sprinkles, and once it hits your mouth, it's just so good. Yeah, so that's what I've been looking for. So obviously, it's been a really good week for me. So that 50 kind of dominated my thoughts last many days, and then before that was the Boston Marathon, so you know all that drama went on. And then let's see. Last night we had the dodgeball tournament, which I thought was super fun. We had like 18 people come. Foxwell's wearing their shirts. Stand up, Foxwell. And we dressed as pirates. Show them your tattoo. Boom! Look at that. Yeah. So we went in as defending champs, and now we're 1 for 2. Not bad. So maybe we'll win every other year. But that was still really fun. And then today, obviously, is Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day to all you mothers, and all you soon-to-be mothers out there. It's just a very vague point to whoever one day will be a mom. But it's Mother's Day or Mother's Day today, so obviously I've been very busy coloring for my mom.
Happy birthday.
I'm sure. Oh, and it's Ebeth's birthday.
And my half birthday.
And not as important. Yeah, but happy birthday to you. That's awesome. So what else? So this week, Sarah and I have been planning out our summer calendar, which has been shaping up to look fantastic. We have a lot of really cool events this summer, and we're really excited about it. And then I've been thinking about my summer vacation time, and then we're going back to Guatemala. Let's see, I had to get my car serviced, or I have to get my car serviced, because apparently you have to get changed the oil like every 10,000 miles. Who knew? Like, I just learned that. A little thing came on my car like, hey idiot, do this. So clearly big couple weeks for me.
It's 3,000 miles.
But when you have a brand new car,
It's still 3,000 miles.
oh no! That wrench did look mighty angry. So we'll see. Note to self. Do that. So I feel like the past couple weeks I've just like been barely able to like stand still, which is both good and bad. Bad because like sometimes I'll get worked up if I don't have like a lot of time to like to myself. I don't like that as much. Like I like going from event to event, but I still need that break. Like I still need that like Sunday Sabbath or that time where I can just like get time to myself. And see, when I was younger, it was the same way. And I was super busy back then, but I was thinking when I'm older, like things will get way easier and I won't have to worry about stuff, because that's what happens when you grow up, or when you get older. So I'm thinking when I'm younger, like, oh, I'm gonna have a job, so obviously I don't ever have to worry about money, because you have money when you have a job, like obviously. And by then I'll probably be married, I'm thinking, so I won't have to worry about like girl drama or anything like that, just like in high school. And plus marriage looks so easy. Like you don't have to worry about anything, everyone always gets along in public, so I'm like, oh, marriage is fine. Marriage is gonna be really easy. But when you're in high school and middle school, you always have all these things to worry about. Like, when is that next test? Like, when was that project due? Every single Monday of growing up, Kara would like come running into the kitchen and be like, when's the bus coming? Did I miss the bus? Wait, we're like, you're 2 hours early. Like, you're fine, just calm down. Did anyone else ever pop up a day that like, a project was due and you're like, oh no, that was today. I haven't done anything for that thing yet. I'm going to use my study halls wisely today. But let's see, whatever those dramas were in high school, we always had to worry about like, does that girl like me? Does she want to go to prom with me? Why is she talking to the other guy? Who's that guy? But also I found out these past couple weeks, like prom is a huge deal around here. Like I didn't really, like if you just go, like for me, I used to go up to a girl and say, hey, would you like to go to prom with me? And then she would hopefully say yes. They always said yes, by the way. But like around here, it's like you have to go through like this whole like song and dance. Like I've seen photos on Facebook and like the swim team has like prom written on their chest with a question mark. Or it's like written in the grass, or people show up like to people's doors with like flowers. And it's like a marriage proposal. It's like a really big deal. Like you're setting the bar really high, guys. I saw this one kid who wrote out prom question mark on like the entire school bleachers. It's like, wow, that's really impressive. Like, good for that kid. I bet he said they said yes to them. But that's like a lot of pressure. I'm glad that I didn't have to go through that at all. Like with prom and all that. Prom wasn't as a big deal for us. But I also noticed around prom, how come every pre-prom photos are the same? It's always big hair, nice dress, awkward guy in front of a swimming pool. Like they're always in front of a swimming pool. It's like, why is that? What would make this fancy night even better? Just a large body of water. That's great. I look at that all the time, like, why is that? I don't know. See, so clearly I've had a lot on my mind this past week. And then, of course, you guys all have to deal with college. College is simple, right, Mitch?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about like the choosing of where to go to college. I remember in high school, I played baseball, so like colleges wanted me to go there, so Dad just lined up the colleges that wanted me to go, and I got to pick from them. And that was really stressful. And all I had to do was like swing a bat. But like now you guys have to do like all this stuff. It's like you have to, everyone has to know a different language. You have to at least play one musical instrument. Yeah, at least one. And then there's like all these different classes that you guys have to take. Like I took the SATs, and that was it. Like I showed up, I didn't study, I didn't even know you could study for an SAT. I showed up, took my test, and left. I remember the biggest stress for me was, did I have my number 2 pencil? I remember being so scared about not having the stupid number 2 pencil. Because I'd get there, and there would be kids that didn't have a number 2 pencil. Like there'd be some kids that didn't have their ID. They're like, yeah, you're fine. Hey, I showed up at the wrong testing area. Yeah, you're fine, come on in. You don't have your number 2 pencil? I'm sorry, you're gonna have to go. Like I saw people actually leave, and I'm like, just give them one, you have a whole team. But they were very, very serious about it. And I get it. And then you have to worry about, you have the SATs, you have the PSATs, you have the SATs, and the SAT2s, right? ACTs? I don't know, I feel like 2 of them are at least made up. I didn't have to do any of those. And now the scaling system's all difficult, and you have to take a, what, like an essay?
21st century.
21st century. See, right? And then you have AP classes. Don't even get me started on them. AP classes. Those are supposed to be the worst. I never got into any of those. So I got into a few honors courses, but I think that was just a schedule conflict. But seriously, like, how do you guys have time for anything? How do you squeeze in things like homework or sports that you want to play or projects that you guys have to do? Like, how do you guys do that? Nice one. So, let alone, like, what'd you say, you don't sleep?
I never sleep.
Yeah, like let alone those like beautiful things like sleep or watch TV or watch movies or Facebook. Right? But Facebook, I mean everyone has time for Facebook, let's be for real. And you guys are all super busy, and like as soon as I put a status up I get like likes and I'm like, what are you doing? How are you not doing anything? But am I the only one that feels like when they watch the recorded shows that they're actually checking things off their to-do list? I feel very productive. I'm like, oh, I'll watch Nashville Angley tonight. Like, all right, very productive. So those are some things that I have on my to-do list. That's what I would have wrote on my things that I need to do. Watch recorded shows. All right, so how many of you guys can relate to the kids in the videos? We're not so much the kids that are in the video because they didn't have time to show up, but the parents, the kids that they're alluding to. Do you guys ever feel like that? You just like have so much going on? Like how many of you guys have something going on this week? Like whether it's like a sport or a play or a concert or practice of something. Yeah, I have stuff going on. What about just this weekend? You guys have stuff this weekend? Yeah. We all have so much, yeah. See, and being busy, it can be really fun. Like I love being active. I've always been that way. In high school, I never had an off season. I started in the fall, I played soccer, and then as soon as soccer was ended, like 2 days later, basketball would start. Then basketball would end and baseball would start, and then I'd play that for 6 months into the fall, and then it would start up again. And I've always kind of liked that. It was like this beautiful cycle for me. And it was like, it was good because it's nice about being so programmed is that you always have something to look forward to. You know, there's like always something to do. Though it can become a bad thing when you become like over-programmed. Have you guys heard that term before? No. It's over-programmed. It's when you just have like so much stuff goes on. And it gets to the point where you can't focus on anything because you have so many things to focus on. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It's like you have so many things that are going on, you can't ever focus on like you, or like things that you need to actually deal with. So the plus side is that you don't have to deal with like these little issues. That's really nice, because like you have these little things or like little tips with a friend or like a little whatever, something's on your mind, and it's since they're actually little, you don't really have to worry about them, and they just kind of like work themselves out. You don't spend too much time thinking about them, which is nice. But then you have the worries, of course, that like aren't so small. And the bad thing is that you don't have any time to deal with them. Because you're running from event to event, and you never have time to like focus on any of the issues that are going on with you personally. And if you ever not dealt with an issue for like a really long time, and it doesn't even have to be a big issue, like, but it's just like that constant reminder in the back of your head that it's there. Wow, I heard it every day from like 4 people.
That was great.
Yeah, but like that's how it is. Like you have these like little issues that sit just in the back of your mind, and it's like those little things. Like I have this paper due. Like, am I getting a good enough grade in this test? Is that person mad at me because I saw this like secret status on Facebook and that might be about me or not? Like, I'm not the only one who's ever thought that. So you guys remember a couple weeks ago when Sarah was talking about complicated relationships, and like when you're around those people and you don't know how to act around them, you kind of feel like you have to walk on eggshells. Do you guys remember that? Like that awkward feeling because you don't know what mood they're going to be in? Like that is super stressful, and that can add all kind of like pressures to your day and to your life because you don't know how to act. You can't even like be you because you have to like be the person that won't make that person upset. And the most uneasy I get is when I'm in those type of situations, or if I have a lot going on, I don't have any like time to actually focus on the things that are bothering me. And I have to squeeze so much into this little amount of time, and I just don't have time to like really sit and like think about the things that are actually like on my mind. Or I don't have time to talk to anyone because the person I need to talk to isn't at the 4 events that I need to go to next. And why that's bad is that when we have these issues, like we never have time to deal with them. So instead of dealing with them, we just kind of dwell on them. You know, we keep them in the back of our mind and they keep popping up in our heads, but you don't have time to like think through it or work it out. You just like, they're just there. So they're just kind of like dwelling like in your head. So with pressures that are going on, the one thing that most people do is dwell on the problem. And the exact one thing that does no good at all is to dwell like on the problem. Because it's just in like the back of our heads. And there's exactly 0 amount of good that comes out of just like dwelling on it. It doesn't add to the situation at all, but you know, it doesn't really take away from the situation. It's just there. But when it's just there to cause anxiety. And it's just there to cause worry. And we talked about how the Bible takes all of our focus. We talked about how the worry can take all of our focus and all. So we're going to go to the Bible and talk about this. Let's see, where's the Bible? There's one. There we go. All right, so we're going to go to 1 Peter 5, 6, and 7. It's going to be on the board too, but I like reading from the Bible. I feel better holding it. Here for it. Is it up there?
Yeah.
It has been, okay. 1 Peter 5, 6, and 7. We'll go 5 first. In the same way, you who are younger, submit yourselves to your elders. No, I'm just playing. All right, all of you clothe yourself with humility towards one another, because God opposes the proud, but shows favor to the humble and the opposed. Humble yourself, therefore, under God's mighty hand, that he may lift you up in due time. Cast all your anxieties on him, because he cares for you. So, I want to talk a little bit about this guy, Paul. Paul, as many of you guys know, he's this really great guy, and but he did not turn out, or did not like start out as this like really great guy. You guys know the beginning of Paul, some of you. Like he started out as like this murderer, right? Yeah, he started murdering Christians, yeah. But God changed his heart dramatically, and that's the long and short of it. He was a murderer. God changed his heart. He said, no more of that stuff. You're going to work for me now. And he started doing all these like amazing things for God. And see, like I think it's funny because a lot of people think that they have like these really rough pasts, and like God can't use you. But like, look at Paul. Like, give this man a little respect. The Bible says that Paul was the chief of sinners. And I know like you may have lied to people, or you may have made fun of people, or even like bullied other people, or had like terrible thoughts about people. But until you start murdering people like on a consistent basis, like please like realize that God is way bigger than anything that you feel like you're not good enough to do. So just like get over yourself for that. Like just realize that God is bigger than any of like the little dramas that you think that you're really bad over. He saved Paul, and Paul was the chief of sinners, a murderer. He can save you because you have gossipy thoughts. Just want to throw that out there. Because listen, God can use you in ways that you never thought possible, no matter how bad you may think that you are. When Paul had this awesome conversion experience, and what he did, he wrote letters and to different churches. He'd write to them and tell them about like the problems, and or try to like address their problems that they've had and stuff like that. And clearly these letters must have been like well worded since they like made it into the Bible. The guy used to get really excited when I write an article for them, it would show up in the school paper. This guy's stuff used to show up in the Bible, so they obviously must be pretty good. So, 1 Peter 5:7. Cast all your cares upon him because he cares for you. And you can switch that word. Cast all your anxieties on him because he cares for you. Cast all of your worries on him. Cast all your fears on him. Cast all your drama. Cast all your doubt. Cast all your feelings of insignificance on him because he cares for you. Cast it all on him. And that moment that you do, that moment that you actually cast it on him, is the moment that you're released from it. Like you don't have that anxiety anymore if you actually do it because you're giving it to him. You're letting God deal with it and you're showing that you're fully relying on him. Because when you don't, when you're taking all this stuff on yourself, you're fully relying on you and your capabilities. But you know your limits. Like you're not God. You can't take these cares and these worries because you're getting worried about it now. But God can take it and just like get rid of it. And when you finally admit that you need help with like whatever your anxiety is, and you, like a lot of you guys will do what I do. Like you'll go to your mom or your dad or your friend and you'll ask them for help. And that's great because it's all of a sudden it's not just you anymore dealing with it. Like there's someone to carry part of that load. And you can go to them like with whatever, and they're going to help you. They're going to try and protect you and provide for you. Like whether it's something as simple as like a school project or something like a horrible argument that you got with someone, or this feeling of insignificance, or this like you have no self-worth or anything like that. Whatever those things are, if you go to someone and ask like, hey, I have this issue going on, please help me, like they're going to help you. But they're going to do the best that they can. But there is someone in your life that will definitely do that. Maybe it's not your parents exactly, or like your friends in school, but there's people there. Such as people at Renaissance, or people at Elevate. So if you don't have that, like certainly come and talk to us. Someone older, someone that you trust. But the point is that you have someone helping you with your problem. So the problem isn't so extremely overwhelming. Because someone can help you carry part of that load for them. So take all that examples and apply it to this verse. The Lord isn't saying, all right, tell me your problem and I'll see what I can do. You know, he's saying, cast all your cares upon me, and I got it from here. I got it from this point out. You don't have to worry about it. So again, I will cast all my cares upon you. And Karen and I, when we were younger, we used to listen to the Salty Singing Songbook.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, you remember it? I used to love that guy. But do you remember this one where he would sing, I'm not going to sing, but he would say, I'll cast all my cares upon you, I'll lay all your burdens down at my feet. And I love that. I used to sing that when I was younger. I'm 27, I still sing that in my head. Lay all my burdens down at your feet. Remember the rest?
Yeah.
Hillary, do you remember the rest?
And when it comes.
Yeah. I don't know what to do. Yeah, I don't cast all my cares. It's very good. Maybe we'll sing it next week. Yes? Any? No? We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. So, when we have all these things. Yeah, you guys will do it. So we have all these things that are going on in our lives and things that we're all struggling with. And I bet, honestly, if every one of you guys would be honest with yourselves, there's something that you're all struggling with right now. Maybe it's not a big issue. Maybe it's like a bully at school, or maybe it's something like self-doubt or feeling insignificant. But we all have something. I know something that's going on in my life that I can think about like right now. That one word, like that one stress, that one thought that keeps dominating your time and dominating like your mental energy. So today, I want to challenge you guys. I want you to find whatever that issue is in your life, that one thing that's been dominating your thoughts and making you feel stressed, and that's just like been building this pressure in your life. And I want you to think about giving it to God. I want you to take Paul's advice and take the Bible's advice and cast your care and your anxiety and your worry on Jesus. Cast it and put it at Jesus' feet. There's certainly people in your life that care about you, even if you're too proud to admit it. There are people in your life that care about you. Like you have parents, you have friends. If you don't have those two categories, you have us. Like we care about you. I'm not just saying that because, whatever, I actually do. I legitimately care about you guys. But we want you to feel less stressed, because when you feel less stressed, you feel more like you. Can anyone kind of realize that? Like you admit that? Like, when you're less stressed, you can be you. You don't have to walk on eggshells around anyone. You can just be you. You can be that better version of you that isn't preoccupied with what other people think. And we all have those people in our lives, but no one even comes close, to the way God cares about us, the way God cares about you guys. And what's beautiful about that is that God can take those feelings of stress and being overprogrammed and bring you back to the way that He intended you to be. And that's confident in who you are and who you are in Him. So we're going to move into our groups. And I want you guys to take this time to pull to surface like those things that you've been dwelling on, things that have been causing you anxiety and causing you to worry. And those feelings that you haven't even had time to think about because you have everything else going on in your life. I want you guys to think about those things, and we want you guys to pray with each other. And praying out loud to a friend is awkward, but we want you guys to do it. So we're going to move into our groups and pair up with 1 or 2 other people, and we want you guys to intentionally pray out loud for someone else. So you get with someone and be like, hey, these are the things that are going on in my life. And if you don't know, well, we just played a game where we listed things out, so everyone has something. And say, hey, this is what's going on in my life, this is what's causing me stress. Let's pray for that. And pray for your friend. So take the focus off you and pray for them, because a lot of time that's way easier. And whatever it is, cast it to Jesus' feet. Say, Lord, I'm done worrying about this. I lay all my burdens down at your feet. So let's get into our groups, and definitely be praying out loud. Don't be super loud, because it's going to be a nice quiet time of reflection. But pray out loud. That's what we're going to be doing. So everyone's staying in this room for right now. And you guys feel free to start moving around. Go ahead. You can start moving around into your groups. And then afterwards, what's going to happen is Jens is going to come up, and we're just going to come back for a short time of worship and sing one last song together. And I really want you guys to be thinking about giving that anxiety or that worry off to God.